Mes amis, Mazel, Mazel left. I am so fromager. He has invited me in to utilize my skills and my knowledge on le fromage.
Oh, okay.
What is that, my friend?
That's a notebook.
C'est quoi? A notebook? D'accord. Anyways, while Mazel was running around like a crazy person because of that game, I don't know what to say. So I'm gonna take over here for just a little bit and
Question? What's fromage?
Cheese, my friend. Cheese.
I like cheese. Cheese is yummy.
I heard from my friend Mazel that it's cheesy in Academy.
Fromage like omelette du fromage.
Omelette du fromage. That's an omelet of cheese. That's what you got. Okay, so I heard he was screaming. I think he has some plays. But as a fromager, I want you guys as my would-be apprentices to dive into the mind of cheese when we're looking at some of these plays, because me being from France, I love cheese, and cheese. There's many different things that can be around cheese. So let's see what we have here. Mes amis, I think we have our first play, and I'm gonna say, Cubby, you look very refined. So I'm gonna have you, as if this were cheesy, go over this play for me.
Okay. Well, you see, first off on C9, when you take the Senna, that's when you get to throw out the H Gouda.
Where is the cheese? You're not even referencing the Parmesan? You're not... Come on.
Senna is the cheese. We got the H Gouda, I don't know, blue cheese.
The secret cheese.
Whatever you want. But whenever you take Senna, you can pair it with literally anything. And in this case, they went with Ezreal.
A little bit sharp, sometimes a little bit tangy, sometimes tu as un chapeau aussi? You have a hat too? Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, well, this guy is refined, I can tell.
You're
you're not a cheese guy. You're probably more of a wine guy. So let's go ahead and go to the second cheese that we have here in the Academy. And I'm going to give this one to the refined gentleman with the top hat, Magical.
Again, I'm not a refined gentleman.
Cheese?
You got the wrong impression of me right now, because I'm just going to compare.
But we're hat friends. We're hat brothers. I feel like we're the same.
I'm going to compare it all to Swiss cheese, because that's the cheese I know the best. So, as you can see, like Swiss cheese, there's a lot of holes in this play.
Okay, I know that.
Yeah, but right here, just
it has holes.
Tad too early, so that smite goes over the other side. Immaculate. Great like Swiss cheese.
It was so close.
Mm-hmm. And just aged like Swiss cheese too, you know.
Okay, I would say it's a little bit like Gouda, because that was Gouda, if you get what I mean. But the fact that the matter is, there is some serious cheese in Academy. This last one, this one is stinky, okay? This one is...
Stinky?
This one is stinky, and that it is the cheese that I like. I like the stinkiest cheese, the cheesiest cheese. And this one is exactly that.
Cheese.
As I'm gonna take over as le fromager, because I know what I'm talking about.
Here we go.
And we have the last little bit here. It's a nice little special bit, as it's a little bit tart. It's a little bit rustic because of the throwbacks, but it is an Ezreal Baron Steel, okay? And that is the stinky cheese, because that is how they stayed in the game, I think. I mean, Mazel was running around like crazy, but that is some grade A camembert, beautiful
camembert?
Cheese.
What is camembert?
It is a type of cheese, my friend. My mustache...
Can we just equate everything to Swiss cheese? Because I know Swiss cheese.
It has holes. I don't know what to tell you. That's all. It is one-dimensional. It only has holes. My mustache is falling off, and I think I hear Mazel coming. So I probably shouldn't be here on the screen. I hope the cheese lessons have helped you, my friends. Et au revoir until next time, le fromager.
Wow.
Cubby, what just happened? Did I have a fever dream?
I feel like we just got cheesed.
My mind has been blown.
Yeah.
I don't know what to talk about except for the game now. Because, I mean, granted, it's pretty appropriate that we're talking about cheese, because that game was pretty cheesy, let's be honest. There are some things that should be illegal.
I mean, I'm always down for Senna. Senna just enables you to pick crazy stuff. It's fun. That's where the fun cheese is. And the cheese didn't even come from Chad. It came from C9. That's the biggest surprise of that
Right.
game.
I mean, granted, I think Wixie on the Ezreal, sure, he got caught out in some moments, but he also made up a lot of the moments too. So it's kind of weird. He had a great performance, but also Pretty was just on top of him each time with those Sleepy Trouble bubbles to always connect them.
Did somebody like? I had a French guy around that I had let stay at the.
No, nobody came in.
I was running around downstairs in my house because that game was like insane.
We were talking about
we got cheese.
Lunchables.
It smelled a little bit like cheese up in my room.
It's because of the Lunchables.
Yeah, I know it is a fromager. I don't know.
Now this is the true gamer question. What is your favorite Lunchable?
The turkey and cheese cracker one.
The cheese pizza.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
the
cheese pizza. 100%.
The two types of cheeses.
So I'll tell you right now.
Don't trust the meat.
When I was a kid, couldn't really have the cheese pizza ones because those were always the more expensive ones. So we always had the cheaper ones.
The ham and cheese, the ham and cheddar. But anyways, you're talking about cheese. My room smells like cheese. There was a fromage in here, but I gotta talk about this game. Like, my God, it was a banger. We've had nothing but great games today, I feel like, and it was tense
yesterday,
until the
first
second.
day,
exactly.
every day.
It's been incredible. The summer season is delivering, Cubby, and the Baron Steel was only a small piece to that.
I mean, for some teams, it's been a tough start, and some of that is forced by visa issues. C9 is definitely one of the teams that falls into that category, but I think that, C9 at least trying to throw some curveballs, pulling out of the unique champ pools of Alorum, trying to beat a Cog Lulu lane, and also just copy and cheat and starting to play together. I think that's the biggest thing for me. I mean, we have such high hopes for both of these players. Like some of the games, yes, things have fallen apart across the map, but that has included them. I think this game, at least trying to find some proactive plays, or honestly just reacting well to the plays that IMT were throwing at them, that's a much better sign for C9 fans moving forward into this Academy split.
See, and I think the unsung hero has to be Alorum, because obviously we're going to focus more on cheating and copies since they're going to be a part of. But not just the Sejuani. In a lot of games that we've seen from Alorum, he has been a pivotal piece that's kind of gotten Cloud9 over some of those humps that they found themselves in when they get behind early game, or if they need someone to engage late game.
Very true, very true. Well, those picks are going to be crucial, though, and some of that experience is going to be super crucial going into our second game of the series, though, as Champion Select is ready. So let's have some fun with it and end off our second series of the day, Magical and Cubby.
Hey.
Well, thank you. It's always good. What's up? What's up?
Matt Magical.
What's up, Cubby?
You know what type of cheese that Wixie Baron Steel was?
What kind of cheese?
Nacho cheese.
This is why you're the old man of Academy, Cubby, even if you're younger than me by like 5-6 years.
I had to get that one in real quick.
Can't believe you've done this. Anyways, let's get to actual important things, shall we?
Wow, I can't believe you're just going to insult cheese like that. I feel like that's a hit at my Midwestern culture. But I guess if you want to talk about the game, we can move into that as C9 taking away Vital's Fiora. That is something we have yet to see, but if you're wondering where Vital got the name, Fiora was a part of that. Known for Fiora, Yone, and Aatrox on the ladder, as C9 going to continue to actually throw out some bans to protect some tanks. Maybe we see C9 like first 3 Ornn with these first 2 bans. That could be something that we might see out of them.
It would make sense too. Like, we've seen Alorum play things like Urgot and Sejuani, but he also kind of made himself known in Proving Grounds by playing the Scions, the Ornns, being that beefy frontliner tank for the team that helps build out the roster.
Will be a Gwen taken away as, again, not a champion that we're used to seeing Alorum play. And Kindred, Graves Kindred have been permabanned against Sheet, and no one wants to deal with his invade.
He's never going to have them. He's never going to have them.
Nah, he will eventually. Once the full roster gets here, I think that Sheetan's going to have some of those picks a couple games. But hey, set us up again, and that will be prioritized by C9. Expecting to see Chad pick up the Wukong here.
That's what I would expect. And then the Viego on the other side for Sheedan, since that's been his go-to. But the Cog Lulu might as well be what they go for. They might as well just grab that yet again, or even just the Cog and grab a Wukong on top of it as well.
Honestly, I mean, for the side of IMT, this is interesting to me because it really tells us that, you know, they are more concerned about the execution of their game one than maybe the strategy behind it. So I think that picking up this Kog'Maw, it still says that, hey, if you play Senna Tahm Kench, we're going to play Cog Lulu. If you play Senna Ezreal, maybe we'll have something else that they throw out of it. I mean, maybe a Karma there can help bridge the gap of that laning phase a little bit better, kind of match the poke. It could be one of the adaptations I could see coming out of IMT, but now we'll see if Wixie decides that he can slam the Ezreal, or if he's too scared of what IMT could pair with the Kog'Maw to beat that sort of lane. And
I think you just go back to Tahm Kench. I think it's the Senna Tahm Kench angle that just
handshake.
Right, you just handshake it, I think.
I mean, it's still, like, you do have pressure early. It still is tough, but if that Ezreal is locked in...
Okay.
Maybe we see Lulu here, but honestly, I think Karma's not bad. Like, you have that lane power, you can poke a little bit against the Senna Ezreal, kind of match that laning prowess that this bot lane's going for, and try and avoid some of those early angles. Another interesting pick. We haven't seen Sona yet,
that won't be
Sona...
No.
No, we could see it. It's pretty good in the Senna.
No, but that's what, like, I just, it's not even that it's the Senna, it's the Ezreal Senna, where, like, you were worried about how the Cog Lulu functions into that. Well, the Sona is almost worse just because she has low range in the lane phase.
One of these days, we're going to see Sona hit Academy on this path.
Well, I think so. I don't think you're wrong. I just didn't think that it would be an Ezreal Senna lane that it's going to go up against.
You never know. We'll have to see.
Look, wait, I'm supposed to be the crazy one here, Cubby.
You never know.
Why am I the one who's the voice of reason?
Never know. That's all I'm saying.
Something weird has happened. So let's get into the phase 2 of bans. Ornn, take it away from Alorum. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it's an Ornn Scion again that's banned away towards Alorum. Put him back. Though his Sejuani was really good. So it's kind of one of those mixed bags of, do you just ban away the Ornn and Scion and because you're worried about Alorum playing either one of those really well, or do you want to just ban the Sejuani and let him have something like Scion instead?
All right. Question answer there, man. Magical. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. All right. Sejuani taken away. We'll see what Alorum ends up pulling out. He has the Urgot. I'm curious to see what IMT takes on 4. Because you'd expect Vital to be able to get a counter pick, usually as the top laner. It's just usually what we see in the meta. I think C9 targeting that Ahri also tells me that they think that IMT is going to take a mid laner here. But I'm curious to see what Pretty ends up going with. Something that has been really good for IMT and Pretty in this early season, it's been the Sandra.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see what Pretty's going to lock in for himself as well. But I have heard word that there might be an issue. So give us a second just in case that does happen. For the meantime, we'll continue to talk about champion selection. As though nothing has happened, Pretty goes back onto that Zoe. And honestly, the IMT just going with the, if it ain't broke, don't fix mentality at the moment.
I guess we have the salty run back minus the Sejuani. Maybe the Scion, of course, was target banned. For Vital, I mean, this would set up really well for the Aatrox. That is something that's really comfortable for him. It doesn't feel great in the Senna Ezreal, just given all the range that it has, but in the Viego and Scion, Aatrox feels really good. So,
I want to see Syndra. I want to see Syndra here.
I think it's Orianna again.
I think it's Orianna, really, but I want to see Syndra.
Orianna's really, really good into Zoe and Kog'Maw. Just all the zone control you can pick up. It's laying the copy, I think, navigated rather well. It all comes down to Vital. You know, the rookie has got counterpick into Alorum. Fiora's taken off the board. We'll see if he ends up going with something. I'm expecting Aatrox here. Set could be another option that I think is all right.
I like Set.
I'm not a huge fan of Set, but I love Set in the Scion.
I like Set personally.
Could be Camille.
Personally, I'm a big fan. Just gonna say that's one champion that I personally like to see.
Oh, it's Yone.
Yone grabbed up for Vital, going on to that comfort pick. So that is interesting. I like to see that coming in from this rookie player in Vital. I mean, it's a statement pick. It's something that he is very confident with, that he has done well. I mean, it's funny having 2 rookies into the split that are both really confident Yone players.
I like the fact that Vital is sticking to his guns, and Immortals, again, when you have a new player in the league and a rookie, I think Immortals did a really nice job of this with Concept last split. Concept, really unique pool. I mean, historically, has played the Singe, the Mundo to great success. I think that we've seen Concept stray a little bit further away from that in this split. If you've caught the Golden Guardians Academy game, feels like he's playing a little bit more stock standard stuff. But honestly, I mean, with Concept or Vital, I like the fact that as a rookie, they say, you know what? You hit high elo playing these champions. You understand these matchups really well. You can team fight with these champions really well. If you think it's good and you see the angle, we're going to empower you to play that pick and try our best to win games with it. And I do think the Yone is pretty good this game.
Okay, so I do have an update from our production. There is a bug in champion selection. We were hearing about that before, and I was wondering when it was going to take effect. It was a trade bug. So all the picks will be the same. Nothing is going to be changed, but it does mean it's going to be a little bit longer till we can get into the game.
I guess more time to talk about Vital's Yone, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
yeah, I have some excitement here.
So I want to contrast it, actually. So we got Yone, Sion for Vital and Alorum, respectively. But then we have the salty run back for everybody else. And I wonder just how do these picks, these two picks for each side, change the identity for Cloud9 and for Immortals?
I think Sion makes it harder to engage, gives a little bit more strength and push early in the top side. And then I think Vital just adds more scaling, but also adds a catch potential onto Senna Ezreal. If Yone catches either of those champions with the ult, they are forced to burn sums or die. It is no other option. So, I mean, this is something where, catching up with a couple of the players before the match, talked to Pretty, kind of asked him, like, hey, what's your impression of Vital stepping in? And Pretty said Vital is team fighting really well. Everyone in the Mortal says that Vital is team fighting really well. Just about rounding out some of the other skills that we expect players first coming into Academy to struggle with, like laning, like when you can push, when you can't push, given where your jungler is and where the enemy jungler is or could be. And I mean, these are things that we see players oftentimes really struggle with early on, but also things that I feel like are more coachable than having natural team fighting skills, knowing how to play around cooldowns, have the vision to see, hey, I can make this play and make it happen. That's stuff that's way harder to teach than how to play out lanes, in my opinion. So I think it's overall a pretty promising start for Vital.
I like that. I like that analysis of Vital, because he is a player that we haven't had much research on because he didn't really play much in amateur or proving grounds in the previous years. I think he played at the beginning, but only very, 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 very briefly in 2021. Am I correct?
Honestly, for Vital, like I said, I'm not that familiar with Vital. Did go.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think he only played. Previously. I think he only played back competitively in the amateur circuit back in 2021 at the beginning in January.
Yeah, I know that he bounced around, and off season, like a lot of these teams do run tryouts, and Vital was able to qualify for those tryouts off of the rank that he had in solo queue, and then landed on IMT, the top laner, one of the I'd say last roster positions that was announced. But hey, for Vital, I mean overall, it's been a decent start for him, and hey, we'll see if that can continue and how it improves throughout this split.
Honestly, with how we started off this split too, like you said, lane phase, okay. Not necessarily the best, nothing to write home about, but it's the team fights that really have...
Yeah, he's playing team fights really well.
And I think that works perfectly with how Immortals like to play anyways. You have a lot of them who are very aggressive. Pretty's a fantastic team fighter. Arrow likes to team fight as well, with Joey backing him up, even if sometimes they go a little bit too crazy. These are players that they thrive in the chaos.
And I mean, it's one of the reasons that this team, 4 out of the 5, were... I should say 3 out of the 5, is, of course, it was Wild Turtle, but Arrow did play a part of that.
Technically, 3.5.
Yeah, I mean, they took top 4 in PG. It was a really impressive tournament from them. I thought Chad and Pretty, again, were synced up really well. I think that's been their biggest strength so far in the early season. And on the side of C9, again, I think it's a good test for Sheeden and Copy, and honestly, a good sign they actually had a pretty decent game 1. Because, like I said, the last couple days, they've been a little bit lackluster, but hey, I know Sheeden was really excited to play against Chad, talking with him. And also excited to play with Copy for this split. I mean, these two guys really wanted to play with each other this year. And I think that Copy, Sheeden, combining, again, this is high ceiling 2 players that, could potentially be an LCS one day. That we really want to see them kind of push each other to get more out of each other. And at least seeing flashes of that early in the season, it can only be a good sign for C9 Academy fans moving forward.
Well, seeing flashes of that just last game. That was a very
That was the first time we've really seen the flashes, but that gets me excited because, again, I'm really excited about these players, so I'm hoping that it can continue.
This is where I always like to say there's an asterisk next to these games, more for Cloud9's benefit, because there's a lot to learn, there's a lot to grow. So when we dive in to this second game of our second best of 2, Cloud9 Academy, Immortals Academy, there's a lot for Cloud9 to test, a lot for them to try to prove, especially through the mid lane of Sheeden and Copy.
We'll see if they can keep up some of the good plays that we saw from Game 1, as it is rather similar composition for each of these teams, as you highlighted early on, Mad Magical. You can see it is going to be that fun Yone top. Some of the spice that some of our new players bring in is sticking around with some comfort. Good stuff coming out from Vital early. He had an insane team fight. He's already played Yone. It's been pretty good.
I gotta say, I also appreciate Immortals. They're trying. They're attempting for the level 1 shenaniganeries for me. This is a team I respect. Go out and hang out with the players constantly, and they know that I want fights right away, every time.
So that's why they're
doing it. No other reason.
All right, so Mad Magical is influencing the games as a caster.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Did you not see the in the lab segment? I'm definitely telling the players what to play.
I thought this was a trade secret. Also, I will say, we didn't ever name this Cog Lulu lane, given the skins.
Oh, yeah, we haven't.
I feel like it's Dory and Merlin, given the fact it's the Finding Nemo skin. And it's at least blue from the side.
So we could just call it the Finding Nemo lane.
Yeah, it's the Finding Nemo lane. I know the arrows, it's the BMO skin.
But he's blue. That is true.
It is blue, yeah.
It does kind of look like Dory.
It does look like Dory and Merlin.
You know what? I like it. I like it. That's the Finding Dory bot lane.
We're not going to forget this one. See? That's a good reference.
Don't speak for yourself. I'm going to forget this by the end of the game.
Oh, wow. Early barrier being burned by Trevor.
This looks reminiscent, though, from what we saw last game, where level 1, both teams were, both bot laners, were trying to see who would gain that level 2 experience lead. Who was going to be the one to punish the other. Last time around, it was dead even. We ended up having a 1-for-1 fight where the ADCs both died. Here, they're still trying to wrestle for control.
And one of the adaptations we have, different jungle pathing. Of course, Chad and Sheeden last game both raced bot early. This time, Chad actually taking the full clear on the top side, whereas Sheeden is the one skipping camps. Right, I should say. Skipping over Raptors and Krugs, much like last time as well. But we'll see if the race bot has a different impact on what happens with the crab. As Wukong will have to skip over Wolves, and most likely more if he wants to be at this crab in time.
There's still no level 1 fights from Chad. He's putting a lot of respect into Sheeden, that he can't just play cheesy like he has in the previous series against them, knowing that this player will punish him severely if he goes for it. But it's passing ships in the night. Sheeden was able to get that blue, but
watch mid.
Chad is looking for mid.
Pretty. Just have the battle song. Chad's going to wait to use the dash.
Nice flash. They dive this one. They get first blood for Pretty with it.
Really well played by Chad. Again, I like how Chad doesn't burn the E until he sees Copy Flash. He can use that to close the gap. He had the angle, was able to apply red buff, finish off the kill. Well played by Chad, but it's an expensive gank. Look at the bot side of Chad's jungle. Sheeden feasting upon all of it at the moment, as he is going to take all 3 camps on Chad's bot side. In fact, C9 does have push early in the bot lane, helps enable Sheeden to go for this play, and Chad... He's going to be starving on the Rift now. He has no camps to farm.
He's going to be starving, but at least he was able to set up pretty early on with that first blood. So it does... There is like the ebb and flow of the game at the moment. The only problem I see is that Sheeden now has gotten that power over him. And like last time, he was able to kind of control him for a while. He was able to control Chad and try to get those leads. Eventually, Chad was able to join up with his entirety of his team for the team fights. But right now, it is Sheeden's territory.
Oh? All right, we have a pause.
Yeah.
There's a big fight bot lane. I think Trevor's dead when we get back, as he has no barrier. So
well, maybe. I mean,
we'll see.
The reason why I didn't build up for the fight is because I heard there was going to be a pause. So I'm like, okay, we'll see how.
I guess we have a classic gamer situation going on here. As you will notice, Mad Magical is able to drink water without spilling it all over his keyboard. Unfortunately, not the case for all the players that we have in this game. As we're getting that, the player did spill water. So we'll get any updates on that. Hopefully peripherals and computers are good to go. Get back in game as fast as possible. It's always the fun of gaming, you know? I feel like, honestly, it doesn't feel right having water being spilled without Svenskeren being in the game, I will say. That is a bummer.
Yeah, a bit of a bummer.
He's going to catch some strays on this stream, I guess.
I will say that takes me back to when I first got to start casting Academy back with Cloud9, way back in, what was it, 2018?
Yeah.
I think it's when I started with them. So it just reminds me of then.
And of course, they have the roster swaps back then with Blabber, Svenskeren.
Yep.
I'd say both those players ended up being pretty damn good.
I would say so too.
Couple of MVPs between them. That's not bad.
No.
So, yeah, we'll get you guys back in game as soon as we can. Till then, a little bit more time to talk about some of the things early season. Mad Magical.
What up?
I know you are a big fan of FlyQuest. A 5-1 start to their split.
Yeah,
we are getting close to the end of our week 1. Anything else that's very surprising that you were not expecting?
Dignitas also being a very dominant team.
Okay.
They're looking really hot as well, so I'm really excited to see how those teams will play against one another. I expected great things from Team Liquid and from Immortals Academy personally. So now that we've gotten back into this game,
here we go.
Oh my, the flash forward, first blood for Arrow. Well, not first blood, second blood for Arrow, with Wixie only watching on in horror.
Oh boy. All right, well, we saw how this lane plays out last time. If Ezreal and Senna cannot, land their poke, get push, it can get ugly. And early on, it's all Summoner's Burn in the bot lane except for Wixie's flash, but it is a kill on the Kog'Maw. Should be able to try and crash that wave as well, but that means, again, Kog'Maw, we saw this last game. Once you are able to pick up levels, you can walk forward whenever you have W up and just chunk out the lane of C9. So, Arrow had a huge Kog'Maw game in Game 1, already set up for success here in Game 2.
And like in Game 1, he's down 10 CS after getting that kill as well. He is... it almost feels like this is his comfort zone. To be just slightly behind Wixie in CS, because he's going to just scale up it to Oblivion in this fight. And even more so this time. Like last time, he died. This time, he survived so he can get more control and keep at it against Wixie.
Big for the side of Immortals, as I will say the one saving grace here for C9, it is the fact that Sheedan feasted on that bot side of Chad's jungle. Look at that CS gap. After the first clear of Sheedan, he got 3 quadrants against Chad. Chad, of course, did get his mid lane ahead, and now Trevor, that's no sums.
Oh, Trevor, he's not looking like he's in a good position unless Sheedan can show up in time. But right now, the bot lane just might die before he's able to get here. They've spotted him out. They know that he's shadow walking right by them. Trevor's inside the alcove. They look to see if they can turn around.
C9.
The first casualty with Trevor barely surviving on the other side, and Arrow gets the flash out of Wixie. He's continuing it. He just wants to give up free kills, I guess.
And Sheedan picks up 2 kills there, as honestly, Trevor Wixie played that out very well. Sheedan here at the right time, and Sheedan is so fed this game on the Viego, going for the crit build again. Mad Magical going to instantly hop on that dragon, and C9's new rookie set up for success in this game.
There is so much deja vu right now in this game. The fact that you have this bot lane, first Arrow is able to get a kill, looks like he's getting a lead, but Sheedan gaining control over Chad, making sure that his jungle pathing is not in the position he'd want to, and then it changes. A double kill for Sheedan. He is now so far ahead of Chad that he goes for the Kraken build. This is where it makes the most sense because he is truly going to carry.
And I mean, I like this play from IMT, right? Utilize vision, punish the members, especially members of C9 that don't have flash, but this is just baited out perfectly by Trevor and Sheedan. Again, look at Trevor go into vision here. That's why he's able to live. Wixie flashing out at the last second, dodging out on the Q in the last auto attack, baiting in Arrow. Really well played by the substitute bot lane of C9, stepping up and setting up Sheedan again to be so big this game.
And I will give a lot of credit over to Trevor. In last game, he played the Senna very well. The lane phase wasn't as dominant as we wanted to see, but later on, a lot of those last embraces were what swung some of the fights for Cloud9. And here, very similar story, where he's finding the right people to mark with that route, plus having dodged away barely from dying in that previous fight, makes it so that it is a massive lead they have now gained for themselves.
really like watching Vital on this Yone. You can see some of the expertise he has on the champion, just weaving in auto attacks between all those Qs on the Scion. As another big part about that play, Mad Magical. Oh, hold on. Vital.
Just chasing him out. Just kind of spotting out. Exactly. It's more so they can get him off this Rift Herald so Chad can secure it.
Another big part about that bot lane play is it looks like Chad will pick up this Rift Herald. I will say at the moment, Sheeden. We'll see that trinket.
I don't know. With Pretty here, they got shoved top lane, they got shoved mid. Right, there's no real way to contest this.
But the good news for C9, so yes, Sheeden is really fed after picking up 2 kills bot, getting a bonus quadrant in the first clear of the jungle. But also, that shuts down Arrow and Joey. Again, remember how important it is for this Kog'Maw to get items to get to the later stage of the game. The fact that they went down, it means that Wixie and Trevor can re-enable the push and the artillery shelling that's going on of Arrow's Kog'Maw, as now Sheeden gets to re-invade as they try to give the buff over to Copy. It will be picked up by Sheeden, but now Joey Arrow, they can't approach this wave. This is really good play coming out of the mid-jungle duo of Sheeden and Copy. Look at how much pressure Joey and Arrow are under.
They're under a lot. They're forced back way far underneath of their turret. A lot of gold has been swung over to Wixie, Trevor, even Sheeden getting in a bit on the action.
And again, on the scoreboard, a 1.5K gold lead for C9 Academy.
And 1,000 of it being in Sheeden.
Yeah, I mean, it's been so efficient from Sheeden. Again, 3 quadrants, finding 2 kills. The second play on the map after Chad did net a really nice first blood mid. And look at Copy. He's been able to recover. And as we have the rest of this game, trying to point out, Dragon going to be the next big objective coming up here, as looks like early Dragon has been secured by the side of C9, but the second Dragon in a $130. We'll see if C9 can keep on utilizing that bot lane priority they have, Mad Magical, to try and make sure they secure that second Dragon.
At the moment, it is Cloud9 utilizing a lot of that pressure, getting some deep vision, not too deep, on the side of Immortals to try to see if they can contain both Pretty and Chad. Since Pretty did get that first blood over Copy, he does have a little bit of a lead when it comes to gold, but not necessarily too substantially, because you can see that the CS has remained relatively even between the two.
And that all actually going to stop the base of Arrow and Joey.
It won't get much more. I mean, they might get a little bit of damage, but the time. Exactly. It's buying the time and getting them a little bit more control that way. So I think that's really the reason why. Though, Vital... Okay, you got to give more respect to Alorum on Scion.
I really like that from Alorum, using the Fog of War. That's a big chunk out of Vital. And Alorum's going to get a point for himself.
He's really good on this champ.
And again, I mean, what a start for C9 this game. This is the best start they've had. It is almost a 2K gold lead for them. Immortals does have the opportunity to try and answer with a Rift Herald play, but we know, like, we've seen this composition or a similar comp play out. We know how important it is for C9 to get early leads, and it feels like they've done a much better job of getting an early lead in this game. And we saw how well they snowballed the mid game last time. So now it's on Sheeden and Copy to try and emulate, do some of that again in this one, as big part and big way to do that. It is the Dragons, and C9 has a good setup to try and take the second one for themselves.
Second one, as well as unlocking what the Rift will be. Chad is trying to see if he can contest it. Gets inside, does not. Sheeden's able to outsmite him each time and get a kill over Wixie as well.
Sheeden could get sped up. He's going hard.
But the flash over the wall flash has been reciprocated on the other side, and the sniping spree out of Cloud9, taking 2 down with alongside the Dragon.
And this mid-jungle duo for C9, it's taken a few games on the stage and with the sub-squad, but it really feels like they're coming alive in this series, Bad Magical, as Sheeden has had such a good game leading his team in gold in the coffers, and with 100% kill participation, taking both Dragons and being up a ton of CS on the Chad. It's been a great performance, the best game we've seen out of Sheeden so far in his first week of Academy.
Well, this is what we've expected of Sheeden. This is why where the losses and him falling behind beforehand were something that we were critical of, because we knew how good this player can be and how much control he can gain over someone like Chad, and he has done so in this game. Even if you're able to get the charge from Shelly from Chad in mid lane to get a lot of the plays over to Pretty, you still have to worry. Look at it's just the fact that most of the gold is put into Sheehan. He is set up perfectly to carry Cloud9.
It also helps, I mean, Sheehan this build with Kraken Slayer. I think getting to 2 items is more important because, of course, you don't get any defensive statistics from the Kraken Slayer compared to the Divine Sunder or the Trinity Force, which are the more common Viego builds. So the fact that Sheehan's this far accelerated and able to clear as fast as he can, again, look, he is just feasting on the topside camps of Chad. He has pushed in both of these lanes, and Chad just has to see.
I honestly love this call from Sheehan, making sure they're starving Chad. Even looking for a play on a Vital underneath the turret. They got the flash early out of him. He has to use the ult defensively to try to gain some ground away from Cloud9. Barely will he scrape out of there.
But still more and more plates going over to C9. And I'd love to see this, again, copy Sheehan using the strength, the priority that they have to go affect the side lanes. They've now done this for both bot with the Dragons and top lane for Alorum as, again, C9. This is a huge lead for them. It's almost 3.5k gold. It was even at this point of the last game. It was just now they started making positive plays. So we know how hard IMT's composition scales, but the position that C9 has put themselves in this game, much, much better early on, and is going to give them a lot more strength and ability to force the issue against IMT while they are still scaling and still trying to get their items.
Then looking at Immortals, looking at what they can do. Obviously, we know they have the scaling, but I don't see them surviving unless they make some sort of play to shut down Sheehan sometime soon.
I mean, Sheehan, look how far ahead he is, man. 50 CS.
They gotta shut him down.
Holy smokes. Yeah, it does have that shutdown gold on his shoulders, and now Vital. That's no flash, no ultimate.
No ult, no way to get out of here either. You can use the Phantom, but you'll smack back to reality. Nice dodge away with the Tornado, but we know what's going to happen here in a second. Even if he was able to get to the turret, he was going to die regardless.
Another great play from Sheehan, punishing an overextension from the other rookie that we have playing here in Academy, as Vital goes down. Alorum should be able to take that top outer turret for himself, and I mean, just like that, that's first brick now going over to C9. They are building on their gold lead. They are snowballing the leads they already have in their lanes. Things are looking really good for them in this game.
It's bot lane. Arrow tried to be aggressive against Wixie. Got a lot of damage on top of him anyways, because they know the top side of the map is not working out too well for them, but they still don't have that same oomph that they did in the last game.
But it looks like IMT is still looking to make a play as Chad. He was spotted on the sweeper.
Well, he's got to make a play.
Yeah, was potentially trying to look to flank the bot lane of C9 again. Ezreal Senna very squishy, very vulnerable if IMT overloads this side of the map, but at the moment, able to connect with a lot of the poke. They're up a level. They can force Arrow and Joey back, and C9 hold strong before this third dragon spawns. And if they're able to get this, get Soul Point, that's huge. Mountain Soul, great role as well for C9.
Couldn't ask for anything better for them. Just delay the... I mean, sure, it's delaying the game initially. But it slows down things perfectly for them. They've already got 2 dragons in their inventory, and if they can get that third one over our Immortals, we still want to scale, still need to get some of those items built up. It's going to be hard for them to actually get through the resistances of Cloud9.
It is a bit of a late reset coming out of Wixie and Trevor. So this could have been a small mistake by C9 as Wixie Trevor sprinting to get back out on the map. Copy doesn't have Shockwave, but was able to take a lot of HP off Pretty, and Pretty cannot use TP. So I think it's okay to chunk out Pretty with that Shockwave, but C9 needs to wait for their bot lane to get here.
Yeah, but we're going to have a firefight here in a second. They look for Alorum, get a lot of damage, but Vital took just as much as the tank did. You can't contest anymore like you gotta get Cubby.
Out. IMT has to see this. If they fight, they will get trounced by the side of C9.
And Alorum standing guard, making sure they don't enter the river. Another dragon, third one of the game. Soul Point potential now in the hands of Cloud9.
C9, 5 minutes on the clock, a 22-minute soul. Again, best case scenario for C9. It's all about them speeding through this game, trying to prevent the items from hitting the inventories of IMT, the items that made the late game look so ugly for C9 in the last game. But C9, they've learned, they've checked the boxes. I think running this back, again, IMT, it feels like on red side, you're the ones that always opt into the run back, but to be fair, C9, it feels like they've learned more. And I think the start that Sheehan had to this game, yes, Chad was able to affect the mid lane, but he put himself so far behind because of how Sheehan punished Chad for that gank, and Sheehan has only ran with that lead since then.
And leave it up to the roommate to understand the pathing of the other one. Really punishing him consistently here, saying, I know exactly how you like to play. There's no way in hell I'm going to give you a free time on Wukong.
Yeah, they probably had these conversations like all the time around dinner, you know, just them and Kenby. There's a lot of jungle talent in that house. A lot of jungle talent.
The future of NA, just in that house alone. They've got so much potential, but right now, there's potential that Immortals could look for play on the bottom half of the map, but without that vision control that Cloud9 themselves have gotten, there's not really much that Immortals can do unless someone really oversteps.
A little bit of tension here as Wixie.
He had the flash, has that dash away. There it is, the flash to get out of there.
Really respect the flash to dodge out in the second cast, the ultimate from Wukong. As Copy, not able to connect the ultimate. Chad dashes out, but Sheehan...
Wait, look on the top side. Yeah, Vital takes a lot of damage from the Kraken Slayer of Sheehan. He even tried to see if he can get the ult to land, but good call with that flash from Sheehan to get out of there so they can reset and look for mid.
I'm actually really surprised that Sheehan flashed, didn't try and buffer with his ultimate. That tells me they might still be looking for a fight on the Siege as second Rift Herald is dropped. C9 looking for 2 crashes. Should be able to get it. Chad's on an angle, but he has no ult.
No ult, no way. Even with the flash, this fight won't work out too well. They don't even have the ult for Vital. So they have to sacrifice that second tier 2 turret in mid.
And look at Alorum just stepping up and face tanking the Zoe. No one can move this Scion at this point. Such a big stat check. And again, until Arrow gets 2.5, 3 items, this map is all C9, and Arrow will not get that in time. Not even close to getting the Rage Void yet. As we'll stop 3 bases.
Let's cancel some backs. Yeah.
That feels good.
It's the, buffering a little bit. The more time you can delay, the better for Immortals. I mean, because that's their only hope. That's their only saving grace into this game, is getting the game to draw out to something like 40 minutes so they can get those items necessary to actually cut through Cloud9.
And honestly, so we are past the 20-minute mark now, Matt Magical. Baron's on the map. I don't want to see C9 mess with Baron at all. I think if you just...
No reason.
Oh, boy.
Can't kill on pretty like this. Even with the Sleepy Trouble Bubble flashed away, they still got Sheehan in the neighborhood. He's level 13 to Chad's 10.
I will say, though, I respect Sheehan for not going for that play. Again, if C9 plays this out cleanly, you should be able to get Mountain Soul for free. Then you can use that to look at Baron. As the shield, really important to try and help you tank up the Baron, can help you, hold strong and survive the poke and the onslaught that Pretty will be trying to put down once that objective starts to be started. But all about the Dragon a minute 15 out. If C9 get control, can use Orianna to zone IMT off this objective, there is no way that IMT can even sniff out this Dragon. And with how big of a lead C9 has, again, it's 38k to 32k, 6k gold at this point of the game is a massive lead.
Where normally I don't like seeing teams just give over a soul for free. I don't really see a way Immortals can actually combat that from happening. If they put themselves in danger, if they go for the contest around the soul, well, they're still massively far behind. You've got a 100% kill participation in Sheehan. He has 3-0 and 2. He's got that Death Dance completed, as well as having the Archangel Staff, the Seraph's Embrace completed for Wixie. 2 items. 2 items for Copy, 2 items for Wixie. They're far behind their competition.
Pretty. He's the one that can put down the poke, but again, Alorum just playing bodyguard. Yeah, he's the bouncer. Making sure that no one from IMT can get in here as 10 seconds before the objective.
Vital. That's a pretty big ult, and that's a lot of damage onto Trevor to start it all off.
Not bad, but Trevor can still heal up as Trevor having to dodge out on a lot of poke. Big key here is Copy zone control. Trying to make sure that IMT can't get through that choke. And then get through that ramp that helps out IMT a lot. Because see, Pretty Vital still stuck on that side. And Copy trying to dodge out on the poke to keep them there.
Yeah, he's doing that shockwave damage on top of both of them. There, beautiful. He got the kill. That's a double for Sheehan, the Dragon Soul. And again, Cloud9.
Again, that's textbook play from Copy. Split the team. Utilize Orianna to make sure you cannot walk through any part of that terrain. As C9 Mountain Soul up, they're juiced. They're going to get a big chunk on the Arrow. That's going to be enough for them to start this Baron. Yeah.
Not even started. This is their Baron unless a miracle happens for Immortals. Chad and Joey, you gotta pull off something insane, but Copy is not gonna let you do so. He has spotted out Chad. He is chasing him off. Probably just gonna give a free kill over to Trevor along the way with the bear now picked up by Cloud9. There in a second. There it is.
And for C9, it's been a tough week. I mean, some of these games have been ugly. We've been on all of them, Mad Magical. The two fastest games that we've had of the year so far were both C9 losses. This has to be a huge confidence boost, especially for Copy, Sheeden, guys that are going to be sticking around for the entire time, but also for the subs. I mean, stepping up and performing admirably. Like Wixie, Trevor, I feel like, especially this game, they've had really solid performances. You know, taking this special Senna Ezreal tech into the Kog'Maw, sticking with it for a second time around and making it work this time. Huge props to C9 as they're looking to put their first game of the year in the win column.
And going back to the conversation, it was close. It still goes over to Arrow. But I want to really hone in on Copy and Sheeden. The fact that these are going to be the two members that stay consistent for Cloud9. And how well they have started to work with one another. We have been asking for that all week long. Last game, we got to see glimmers of it. But this game, we get a full showcase.
Really good to see. Just good signs moving forward to C9. I mean, look at how tanky Sign is, man. Nothing stopping Alorum. Gets to walk forward without any resistance from IMT, as that's going to be the first inhibitor falling.
Gonna fall. Vital is way long away from his home. He got shut down, you know, bounty gold onto that tier 1 turret in the bot lane. But at what cost? They're already sieging down these Nexus turrets. They went now down to half. Now it's down completely with the help of that cannon minion. The flash in from Vital, looking for the pick on the other side on the Copy, but Copy's still alive. Chad's now in real danger while he's in the midst of everybody.
Nice flash from Copy. He lives. He can TP back, and this should be it for C9 as Wixie.
Pretty might die. Wixie was getting a lot of damage onto him, but really, they just want this cannon minion to continue to siege this final Nexus turret that remains.
Watch Copy TP.
Copy has TP up. He's got a way to get back into the game or to hold the minions. He's already back here in this fight. And this will be Cloud9's retribution. Their first victory of the summer split comes at the hands of Immortals.
That's got to feel good for the side of C9. Again, first 5 games have been tough. Not the way they wanted to start the split, but ending this week on a win, at least taking a positive into the weekend. Especially, you know, Sheeden's first week didn't go how he wanted, but that game right there, that was the Sheeden show. I mean, he took the bonus quadrant, the first clear, and then second clear, gets his bot lane ahead, and then from there, just absolutely uses his lead, uses the priority that his team had in draft to demolish the jungle of Chad, demolish the lanes of IMT next, and snowball that game to a victory.
Honestly, I don't know if there's much more I can say about that. It was a great game from Cloud9. This is the Cloud9, the Sheeden Copy show that we were wanting to see all week long, and they finally performed.
Yes. Great to see. Hey, once again, maybe going up against that roommate gave Sheeden a little bit of comfort, and hey, good to see him perform. We know that he is a player that we are so excited about. It's been a tough first week, but hey, C9, the sub squad, they can all take that one to the bank. That has to be a feel good for him.
Yep, they get their first victory of the summer split. We're going to toss to a break. When we come back, we'll have our host back here with an interview. Make sure you stay tuned. I guess that is love. Now the reflex are lucid, and I know that I'll be fine. I guess that is self-love. You think I'm going crazy, but I'm not missing you. I only miss the illusion you pretended to be. I'm not acting crazy, I just said we're through. Baby, you gave a lot. What about trust? What about all this time you looked in my eyes, babe? What about commitment? What about
Welcome back to the Verizon post-game interview, and I am here with none other than Copy from Cloud9 Academy. I'm so excited to get a chance to talk to you this split. It has been tumultuous, but you just got your first dub. How does it feel, man? I know you were saying before the interview you're excited. Just give me your thoughts, your feelings.
Yeah, definitely feels good to win with this roster. I don't know if many of people know, but like it was assembled literally a day before Academy started, so we didn't have any like practice or any games together. So we were just going in blind, and eventually it worked. After the third day, we got a win. Felt good, for sure.
Hey, right at the last little bit, you know, you just got to make sure you can get the dub on the first week. I think that's always super important. But I want to talk about you a little bit more as a player. I want to talk about your off season. Did you do anything special? Did you accomplish anything yourself that you want to highlight here?
I said the biggest highlight was it was my first time going to Korea and experiencing boot camp. I think I definitely sharpened my mechanics over there. The server is really good, but highly intensive players, very young players. It's pretty fresh, like a refreshing experience compared to NA solo queue.
You have any? You have a story that stands out to you, real quick? Do you have anything, a moment or memory, something funny?
I don't know if you saw on Twitter, but the first day we got there, me and Sheeden couldn't read the client, so we actually went into ranked flex instead of ranked solo queue. So we played ranked flex with players. So that's pretty fun.
Nice. That's a little bit different. My goodness. Well, hey, I can appreciate that. But gearing into the split, right? It is a little bit different, as you said yourself, right? Changing the roster at the last moment. But you find yourself in a bit of similar situation to last split, as needing to find leadership within the team, needing to be a leader within the team. How do you feel about that, and how as a player, have you approached that situation?
I definitely explored that, both in and out of the game. I was thinking about how I can integrate myself more into this leadership type position. I've noticed that I'm a pretty soft-spoken person, which I'm trying to work on. I'm trying to like grow a backbone, be able to give criticism to both my teammates and myself, and be harder on myself. And I'm definitely exploring that still. It's still a work in progress, but I'm happy with where I'm going forward to.
Yeah, and it's nice to always have a goal that you're working towards as well. And speaking of that communication, kind of standing up for yourself, you are working with a bunch of substitutes, as you said, put together last minute. How has it been working with those three and kind of trying to put things together?
They've been great. Already the situation was pretty weird for them to come in on such short notice, but they've all been very open to what we're trying to do, opening to draft, all these things, and it's been fun working with them.
Good, I'm glad. Well, within all that chaos, the real change was Sheeden coming in as jungle, is going to be on the main roster here. How has it been working with that, as mid-jungle duo is such an important piece to the puzzle right now with League of Legends?
It's definitely a work in progress, I'd say. Most like solo queue players, like Sheeden is like a giga solo queue player, so it's a bit hard to get into competitive at first, but I think with time he'll definitely be the best jungler by the end of the split, because he definitely has the mechanics for it. So we just got to control his brain, you know.
There you go. That's what it is. Put the blinders on a little bit, see what happens. Speaking of the game state and kind of that communication between mid jungle, how do you feel about the meta right now, especially with the durability patch? Do you feel like there's any spice that can come out? Do you feel like you have anything that you want to talk about for the meta?
Well, for the next patch, I believe 12.11, it's a lot more fun. A lot of champs got buffed. I like what Riot's doing with the game. It doesn't feel like everyone's just getting one shot from any role you play. There's a lot more mechanics, more outplay you could do, because champs just are more tankier. So that's pretty cool about the game. As for mid lane in particular, I feel like you can play a lot more things now. A lot of things are getting buffed, not just Ari and TF anymore. There's like my favorite champ Zoe's back in the meta. I think Silas, Yone, all of these champs are good in certain scenarios, and yeah, there's gonna be a lot more champs in 12-11 that we can play.
Oh, I can't wait for the spice. I can't wait. You as a player, Copy, you know, we've talked a little bit about last split, a little bit about coming into this split. What is your focus for summer? What are you wanting to accomplish? What are you wanting to prove in the summer split of Academy?
I think for myself, I just want to be more of a better teammate. I think this past 1.5 year in Academy, I've just been focusing on being the best player mechanically and like being able to think the best, like having a strong intuition. But I think going forward to this split, I want to be a better teammate, and I definitely just want to win. I haven't won Academy in quite a bit, so definitely want to win and go to the studio in person because now top 4 is in LCS in person, so that'll be a cool experience.
Let's go. I love to hear it from you, Copy. Thank you so much. I just want to say thank you for sitting down and chatting with me. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your week and get ready for next week's games.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and bring back in Magical and Cubby.